Paleontologists have long sought documentation about closely related humans crossing paths. We have long known about modern humans, Homo sapiens, crossing paths with Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis. However, paleontologists have been seeking other examples of interactions between our species and other human animals. At last, success was reported in the renowned peer-reviewed journal Science on November 28, 2024. More about the peer-reviewed paper shortly. The headline at phys.org on November 29, 2024 reads, "A fossil first. Scientists find 1.5 million year old footprints of two different species of human ancestors at the same spot." Here's the lead. Quote, "More than 1 million years ago, on a hot savanna teeming with wildlife near the shore of what would someday become Lake Turkana in Kenya, two completely different species of hominins may have passed each other as they scavenged for food." End quote. As you know by now, you must insert might for may to correct this grammatically incorrect sentence. The following paragraph tells the story. Quote, "Scientists know this because they have examined 1.5 million year old fossils they unearthed and have concluded they represent the first example of two sets of hominin footprints made about the same time on an ancient lake shore. The discovery will provide more insight into human evolution and how species cooperated and competed with one another," the scientists said. End quote. Use of the term hominin acknowledges a subdivision of the larger category, hominids. Hominid includes all organisms, extinct and alive, considered to be part of the human lineage that emerged after the split from other great apes. This division occurred 6 to 7 million years ago. A few paragraphs later, the article in phys.org indicates that the humans who interacted with each other 1.5 million years ago belonged to our immediate predecessor, Homo erectus, as well as Paranthropus boisei. These were the two most common extant human species during the Pleistocene epoch. Lest you believe I am pronouncing Paranthropus boisei incorrectly, bear in mind that all words in Latin, a dead language, are pronounced the same, with authority. Not to confuse the issue, but some scientific names use Greek, including Paranthropus. A professor in the Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences and also in the Department of Anthropology in the Rutgers School of Arts and Sciences exudes enthusiasm as he is quoted in the phys.org article. Quote, "Their presence on the same surface, made closely together in time, places the two species at the lake margin using the same habitat." End quote. The professor at Rutgers indicated that if the two species of hominins didn't cross paths, then they traversed the shore within hours of each other. According to his colleague, the first author of the peer-reviewed paper in Science, quote, "Fossil footprints are exciting because they provide vivid snapshots that bring our fossil relatives to life. With these kinds of data, we can see how living individuals, millions of years ago, were moving around their environments and potentially interacting with one another, or even with other animals. That's something that we can't really get from bones or stone tools." End quote. This research results from that of the Leaky family, famous for their paleontological work in Africa. Specifically, a team of paleontologists organized by Louise Leaky discovered fossil bones on the site. Louise Leaky is the granddaughter of Louis Leaky and daughter of Richard Leaky. The fossil footprints were discovered in 2021 when highly educated local Kenyans scoured the area after heavy rains. They noticed fossils on the surface and were excavating when one of the members of the team noticed giant bird tracks, after which he spotted the first hominin footprint. In response, Louise Leaky coordinated the team that excavated the footprint in July 2022. She is one of 19 scholars who authored the peer-reviewed paper. As with Homo sapiens, Homo erectus and Paranthropus boisei had upright postures, bipedalism, and were highly agile. However, little is known about how these two coexisting species interacted, either culturally or reproductively. According to the article at phys.org, it has long been hypothesized that these two human species coexisted. Paranthropus boisei went extinct within the next few 100,000 years after coexisting with modern humans in Kenya. Scientists do not know what caused the extinction of this species. The footprints documented in this research are particularly significant. These footprints fall into the category of trace fossils, which can include footprints, nests, and burrows. Trace fossils are not part of an organism, but they offer evidence of behavior. In contrast, body fossils, such as bones and teeth, indicate past life, but they are easily moved by water or a predator. Trace fossils, on the other hand, cannot be moved. The professor at Rutgers again exudes enthusiasm when he provides the bottom line in the article at phys.org. Quote, "This proves beyond any question that not only one, but two different hominins were walking on the same surface, literally within hours of each other. The idea that they lived contemporaneously may not be a surprise, but this is the first time demonstrating it. I think that's really huge." End quote. As I indicated, the peer-reviewed paper was published in Science on November 28, 2024. Written by 19 scholars, it is not open access. However, the editor's summary and abstract combine to provide sufficient information. The editor's summary includes this information. Quote, "It is now well accepted that hominin evolution is a story of many lineages existing contemporaneously. Evidence for this pattern has mostly come from fossils being dated to similar time periods. This paper describes hominid footprints from 1.5 million years ago in the Turkana Basin in Kenya that were made by two different species within hours or days of each other. Analyses showed that the footprints were made by individuals with different gaits and stances, and the authors hypothesized these to be Homo erectus and Paranthropus boisei. Although fossils of both species occur in the area, these footprints show that they coexisted and likely interacted." The abstract contains this information. Quote, "For much of the Pliocene and Pleistocene, multiple hominin species coexisted in the same regions of eastern and southern Africa. Due to the limitations of the skeletal fossil record, questions regarding their interspecific interactions remain unanswered. We report the discovery of footprints about 1.5 million years old from Kubi Fora, Kenya, that provide the first evidence of two different patterns of Pleistocene hominin bipedalism appearing on the same footprint surface. New analyses show that this is observed repeatedly across multiple contemporaneous sites in the eastern Turkana Basin. These data indicate a sympatric relationship between Homo erectus and Paranthropus boisei, suggesting that lake margin habitats were important to both species and highlighting the possible influence of varying levels of coexistence, competition, and niche partitioning in human evolution. As I have been pointing out for many years, we are one. The research and resultant publications mentioned here provide yet another example.